And just like that, we are back at it. Really good to be back. So, if anyone's joining now who was just over on the Patreon live, guys, thanks everybody for joining tonight. Thanks to all the Mash and Journey, Whiskey Club members, all of that stuff. I mean, it's been a whirlwind year and a half with all of that. But aside from all that, really good to be back. And I mean, how can I not do a live stream on National Bourbon Day? So we'll raise a little glass. Cheers, guys. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. Awesome of you guys to all be joining, and really appreciate it. So what I wanted to kind of do tonight was, with the newest kind of release of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch B522, what I wanted to try to do was just kind of go through older versus newer ones, and then kind of hear from really everybody as to your opinion on why some are better than others to you. I know it's all subjective and all of that, and that's fine, and that's understandable, and everyone's got their own palate. And it's just, again, it's one of those fun things to kind of do a little bit of a comparison to. As you can see, I mean, I put a pretty good dent in the A122. Huge fan of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the A122 up against, where's that one? The A118. So we're going to go way back. I think I've even got a B517, which won the 2017 Whiskey of the Year, I believe. But it's interesting just to see the profiles. And I even said it in my most recent review, was there really are no bad ones. They're all worth picking up. It's just a matter of which ones, you or whoever it is feel is better. It's your palate, all of that. But it's kind of interesting to see the evolution, I think, of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So we'll kind of do some of that tonight. It just got me thinking after coming off of the B522 review and kind of putting a few things together as to maybe has the profile of it changed a little bit. So we'll find out tonight. I guess you guys can leave a comment below, and then also tonight we're gonna do a little giveaway. So this will be a fun one. So this was one we were just talking about over on the Patreon live stuff. So anybody who wants to get in on our Nulu pick, which was again finished in tawny port barrels. It's a great one, man. It's as you can see, let's see here. Look at that. I mean, just the sticker alone. I mean, come on, look at that sticker. So that's the Spice Jam. That's the Nulu, the bourbon that was finished in the tawny port and turned out absolutely fantastic. It was probably one of my so far surprise whiskeys so far. So we'll see. We'll give I kind of held one back and to do a little giveaway, and I figured, well, what better day to do a giveaway than on National Bourbon Day? So we'll kind of jump at that. So let me go back and say hi to a few people who were in here pretty early on. I know Kitty was in here early on. Top Dog, good to see you. Hendo, good to see you. Eric, how's it going, brother? Good to see you as well. Biking Bourbon, how's it going, brother? Good to see you as always. Good to see you, Paul. Couple Pauls. Hey, Paul. Paul P. Paul L. We'll go you. Timmy, good to see you, Tim. I know Jason's kind of wrapping up things on his too. So hopefully we'll get a few more people and stuff in. But so yeah, so let me ask you guys this. So I guess regarding Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, and I guess however far back you want to go. And hey, real quick, so I know there's going to be a couple of the super chats and stuff coming in. Is there anybody who's maybe going to stick around for an hour or so who wouldn't mind being a mod, and then we can do the giveaway? Because I can barely keep up with the chat, let alone trying to keep up with the super chat. So I would appreciate it if someone can let me know below whether they can kind of keep track of it for me. I would greatly appreciate it. So Raji, good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Hey, Greg, how's it going? The boss herself. How's it going, Katie? Good to see you. And here's the lurker. He's never far behind. How's it going, Turkster? What else we got here? Ben, good to see you, bud. It was nice to meet you all. We'll kind of talk a little bit about that in a couple minutes. So that was a fun couple weekends ago. I know time flies. Actually, it wasn't even a weekend, but it was a good time. So I'll get into that a little bit. Good to see you, Benny. Let's see. Exactly, man. Those are some low beams or whatever the heck they were in those rick houses. I'll tell you. Jesus, apparently I was the only one that was banging my damn head on those things all day long. So, TK, good to see you, buddy. What else we got? Hey, Brett, always good to see you, buddy. All right, so yeah, I guess let me know if there's any mod who can keep after the super chats. I would appreciate it, just because I know I'm not going to be able to do it all. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what Ben had mentioned before. So a couple weeks ago we were down. So yeah, not this past week. So 2 weeks ago, we were down in Kentucky doing a couple of picks, and we just happened to be at Wild Turkey. So something I've been hoping to do, in person. We weren't able to do the. Thanks, Turkster. Appreciate it, bud. Thank you very much. So we were down in Kentucky, and we were at Wild Turkey. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me go back. I know there were a couple of super chats. I just want to say thanks, guys. Top Dog, thank you so much. Appreciate it, bud. You are in it. And of course, my man Will Henderson, Hendo, happy National Bourbon Day to you too, brother. So let me go forward here a little bit. So thanks, Katie. So anyway, all right. So yeah, a couple weeks ago, we were down in Kentucky. We were at Wild Turkey. So we found out kind of early on that Jimmy Russell was going to kind of be in the new kind of makeshift, I guess kind of, what would you call that? Like gift shop. Let's go with the gift shop. And he was there. And it's just one of those things where, you kind of, hear about all of these master distillers and all the older guys that have been around forever. And that was just one person I've always wanted to meet. And, he was a great guy. He was telling funny stories. He sat there. He just, he was chewing the fat with us really all night or all day long for the most part. Signed a barrelhead for me, which was awesome. Took some pictures, really did everything that anybody was asking of him. And I'll tell you what, he is a sharp guy for his age. And it was just an awesome day. I mean, that was just the very beginning before we even went to do any of the barrel picks. And that was it was something. I signed a bottle, him and Eddie. Eddie was in there for a little while, signed the let me grab that real quick, show you guys here. So hopefully you can kind of see that. There's Jimmy on top, Eddie on the bottom there. That's a little better shot. But figured, Wild Turkey 101, that's the kind of their staple. So I figured if there was going to be a bottle that was signed, I figured that's what I'd want to have done. Signed a barrelhead for me, which was awesome. Got to talk to Bo, was down there as well. Everybody was down there. So it was a really fun day. So then we went to basically Warehouse A, Tyrone A, they call it, and famous old, like 18 something or other that rick house has been around for. So an awful long time. It's produced some pretty incredible whiskey. So yeah, Ben, I think when you got there, Eddie had just left. So yeah, I think you just missed him. But so yeah, from there it was myself, Bourbon, Ben was there, Jason, of course, Mike from Sunday Evening Scotch was there, Bill McBrayer from McBrayer Whiskey actually helped us. So the owner of this brand actually helped us do the Russells and Kentucky Spirit pick. Man, who else did we have there? The guys from Keg and Bottle were there. Tony and Shem were there. Boy, I know I'm missing someone. My dad was with us. And who else? I don't know. I forget. I know I'm missing someone, I think. But anyway, so we got into Rickhouse A. We were doing with Bruce Russell. So we saw 3 generations of Russells, which was pretty cool. So we tasted through, I mean, they had barrel after barrel rolled out, and it was just awesome. Smelled fantastic. We weren't being rushed through there. We kind of were able to take our time. So that was an awful lot of fun. We were there originally to do a Russell's and a Kentucky Spirit. We were able to get a second Russell's added in. So that will be something that will be fun to add to the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So we'll have 2 Russells, 2 different Russell's barrels, a Kentucky Spirit, and then us, Bourbon Pursuit, Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night. I know DJ Rare Bird 101 was there. They did their barrel picking. So Keg and Bottle did this collaboration barrel that we're all going to do as kind of a single release. And we're all going to kind of release that as a collaboration. So I know the logistics of it have to be figured out, but we'll figure that part out here, hopefully before too much longer. But overall, again, another incredible day. Met some great people I hadn't met before, so that was really fun. And yeah, overall, just a fantastic time. We think we got some, again, great whiskeys for you guys. I mean, Russell single barrels, man, you can't go wrong. And the Kentucky Spirit we ended up with was kind of a hitter as well. That one we tasted, we were able to proof it down a little bit to kind of get it where we thought would be relatively consistent with the proof of Kentucky Spirit. So we'll see. It was again, it was just another great day. So yeah, I mean, we had a lot of people with really good palates there that day. It was just, it's kind of how everything worked out where, you've got everybody that is kind of on their game. And it was really kind of showing that day where everyone was picking out a lot of good things. We passed, I think, on some really great barrels, ones that we were excited about until we got to another one and we're able to kind of weed out the other ones. So that's kind of just the process, but it was one heck of a day. So anyway, so let's get into tasting a little bit of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I'm going to go back to the A118 batch up against the A122, and we'll kind of see what they have. So A118 is here, A122 is here. So that's kind of how I kind of set them up. So we'll see. I mean, it was kind of interesting because for me, and again, I'll talk a little bit about this since I've done both reviews already, but let me get this a little closer. I thought that the A and B batch for 122 were going to be much more similar than they were. And I didn't find that to be. Like, I was a huge fan of the A122, but I wasn't as huge a fan of the B522. I felt there was just something, I felt there was a little something missing, and I was constantly searching for what that next kind of profile was going to be. There just was nothing blowing me away. So I'd be interested to hear if you guys have had the A122 versus the B522, kind of some of your thoughts. So we'll get into that a little bit. I have to get some of the other whiskeys I had from the Patreon live we had. We had a lot of stuff coming for our Patreon members, kind of shameless plug. But if there's anybody who's not part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and you want some great whiskeys, I'm a little bit biased, but it's a fun group, great people. And I've met some great friends in there, and we get people involved. A lot of people that are in here right now have all been, part of some of the picks that we've done. So we try to do, make it as fun as possible, get people involved, good whiskeys, fun whiskeys, different things, all of that. So we're kind of always trying to push the envelope a little bit. So, hey, Roy, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're able to get your son okay from work. Let's see. Cam, good to see you. Scotty Swagger, not the old Wild Turkey signing. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, today was a good day. Exactly. Today was a good day at Wild Turkey. I'll tell you, when we had a hell of a time. So, All right. So I'm kind of, yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100%. So I haven't gone back to, honestly, I have none of the A, B, or C of 21. I wasn't really a fan of them. I had one, but I ended up sharing it a lot and then drank a little bit of what I had left. So I don't even have any of the 21s left. I've got one B520 left, and I've got an 18, 19s I've drank through already. I think I've got one of the B517, which was the whiskey of the year, but I don't know if I have it by me or not. So, but yeah, Jamie, I would agree. The A122 for me, there was just something. We'll find out, because I'm gonna do this head to head. It's not blind. I know what they are, but that doesn't mean much. I mean, I'll be able to pick out, what it is I prefer and like anyway. So yeah, the B520, a lot of people really enjoyed that. So all right, so let's start with the B. What the hell was it? No, not B. The hell ones are that again? A118. All right, come on, get your shit together. A118. So we'll compare this to the A122. So, and cheers, guys. Thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate it. I mean, how do you miss National Bourbon Day, for crying out loud, as kind of a whiskey tuber? That's for sure. So, oh man. This thing is just, I mean, that A118, I mean, again, it's been open for a little while. It's been kind of in a darker area in my basement. But the amount of like brown sugar and like heavy caramels, really nice pastry note on it. And again, this is 130.6 proof. So these were back when some of the proofs were slightly higher than they are now. I mean, almost 10 proof points higher than what they are now. So, but thanks, Doug. Appreciate that, brother. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you. Yeah, there's just something like the richness, much more heavy fruit, more cherry. That's always one of the things I used to get more with the older Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Honestly, what it reminds me of, if I'm comparing, some of the old Elijah Craig barrel proofs drink more similar to what you get with some of like the Stag Juniors, where you get a little bit more of those kind of like heavy, cherry notes, the more richness, the more complexity. That's kind of what I used to get with a lot of the older ones. And it's become a little bit less of that, but the A122 really kind of surprised me. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, the B517 for me, I mean, it's still one of my, I'll even say all-time favorite pours, period. It's just, there's something about that one that was very special. I don't know. It's been a while since I've gone back to it, to be honest, but I just remember it being like just a fantastic pour. So, but all right, let me see what we've got here. We'll go. Oh man, it's not even close. Now, again, this is a little higher proof, but the amount of richness, complexity, sweetness, barrel char, cherry, jammy, fruity notes is just, I mean, it's night and day. And I absolutely loved. Now here's one thing I'll say about the A122 was, for me, it was, hey, I know this guy. The A118 versus the A122. The A122 still drinks to me, or smells like that liquid rickhouse. There's something about it. Again, it's not the highest of proofs. What was this thing? 120.8 proof. So not super high proof. Again, 10 proof points lower than the A118, but there was still some real nice, more similar notes to the 20 releases than probably definitely this 18. I mean, as much as we used to nitpick those back then, I think it's even more so now. But to kind of compare the two nose wise, I mean, Jesus, if you could get whatever this A118 again, obviously it's been open for a while, but if we could get these now, people I think would lose their damn minds. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I don't remember the A118 being this good. I think more people raved about the B518, if I'm not mistaken, but let's see. You know what? And I think with it being lower proof, let me go, because I think it'll be a little bit unfair if I try to have the A118 ahead of the A122. But man, I'll tell you what, it's still, that A122 is still really, really nice. You know, again, it's just, there's less richness on this than that. And again, I think the proof is showing up a little bit there as well. Yeah, any of those, Tim. So when you can get into the A, B, and C of 20, I think a lot of those were all really nice, pours. I mean, those, talk about nitpicking. I think too many people did far too much of that in 2020 because we had a lot of time on our hands and we could do that. But those were all, I think, fantastic pours. So, all right, let's see what we've got here. Actually, a little more cherry, a little more fruit has come out in the A122. But what I love about it is the sweet oak, that like Rick House, that kind of like angel share like nose to it. That was one of the things I really loved about it right away. All right. Cheers, guys. Man, that A122 for me. What's going on, Curbs? Good to see you, brother. Always nice to see you. It's been a minute, that's for sure. But thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. Man, there's just something about that A122. I would tell people, if you can find those to have a backup or a backup of the backup, I wouldn't hesitate one bit, especially if you can get those at or around, you know, MSRP, 70, 80 bucks, whatever it may be. I mean, think about it. 12-year cast strength, non-chill filtered bourbon. I mean, in today's day and age, I'm surprised it's not $100 bottle easily already. I mean, they could charge that MSRP and it would still be, I think, almost undervalued. But at 70 or 80 bucks, shit, man, you cannot beat that at all. So, there you go. All right, Steve. So let me know. Like, I'll tell you what, when I get into it here in a second, but man, you could live in that nose on that. All right, you got the B518, but this is the A118, but whatever. I mean, either one of those, I'd be interested to see. What was the proof on the 518, Steve? Was it similar to? So this one is 130.6, so a little bit higher. But I'd be interested to know what the proof on the 518 was. Oh, skipped in your area. All right, man. I saw like a few of them when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, and I was able to pick up another one, 70 bucks. I was happy to do so. So I was really happy to pick up another one. Let's see. You know what, Richie? I still think, I mean, for these, if they priced them, I think at $100, I still think people would be. I think people would be okay with this. I mean, me personally, I mean, I think these are far better than most or any of the Bookers. For what you're getting here, I don't think it's, you know, as much of a comparison as maybe people would want to do. But again, like I said, 12 years, non-chill filtered, barrel proof, good proofs on them. The flavor profile, I mean, they're all good. They're all great whiskeys. It's just a matter of some for us better than others. And it's interesting to see and hear you guys kind of mention some of the ones that you liked and why. That's why I really wanted to do this, was just to kind of do a little kind of comparison. So, So for me, like, I mean, I don't think it compares really at all. Now I've had some of the 21s. The C921 was the only one I had an actual bottle of. Others I had samples, but I didn't have the C921 for very long. So I kind of sampled that thing out. I wasn't overly crazy about really any of them. So for me, the A122 by far was better than any of the 21 releases and is much more comparable to the 20 releases as far as I'm concerned. So I wouldn't have a problem telling anybody to buy at least the A122. I would tell anybody to buy any of them, but if you had the choice, my opinion so far of the 2 and 22 would be the A batch so far. All right, Coatsy, let me know. Let me know what you think. 18 and 19, both good, both really good years, actually. So, yep, couldn't agree more. I think I still think it's $100 bourbon, I think, all day. I mean, considering what it is, think about that value in what you're paying close to $100 for, you know, for other whiskeys. I mean, part of it is just anytime. Most of it is, you know, it's understanding the value and what it is you're getting. I mean, it's just it's really hard to put kind of in words, you know, how much of a value this bourbon really is. So, yeah, C19 was a great whiskey. I prefer B518, I think. It has some slightly unusual notes that make it interesting. B518 hits a down the middle bourbon, albeit all good. Yeah. So this is where kind of like the nitpicking and stuff comes. So, all right. So I kind of tackled a little bit of the A122. Let's get into the A118. My God. I forgot how good that was. That spice and cherry, really nice sweet pipe tobacco, great baking spice. Man, oh man, that is really good. If we could get more of these now, I don't even know what to tell you. Nick, let's see. So B520 is definitely an easy drinker. It is, and for me, I think that was a little bit of what I struggled with from the standpoint of that it was kind of, I don't want to say so easy to drink, but what I felt I had to do with the B522 was just search a little bit more than I wanted to. I didn't think there was that much of it, and I think unfortunately we've gotten a little too used to them not being as good as they used to. So that's my only kind of gripe with some of the newer releases, even though I still feel that the A122 kind of redeemed itself. B522 kind of, you know, again, for me, started to fall off a little bit more. But, you know, hey, at the end of the day, to each their own. You know, they're all great bourbon. So, Turkster, we're not in the giveaway. I got support doc. I appreciate that, buddy. And hopefully we get to see you guys before too much longer. That would be awesome. No pressure. I know everyone's got things going on and all of that, but it'd be great to see you and Katie again. So, so let's see. So yeah, I mean, when you kind of compare, let's go back again. Now coming off of the A118, let's go back to A122. It's still really good. It's just not, and again, I think here is where the proof is probably amping the A118 up a little bit. It's adding much more like richness, that complexity just more intenseness that's there. The flavor profile is a little bit more kind of defined than even the A122. And again, that's saying a lot, but man, I'll tell you what, that you go back to these old batches, man, I wish I had a boatload of these old ones still sitting around. I've had a couple of them, but man, that like leather, sweet pipe tobacco, cherry. There's almost a little bit of that if you've ever smelled someone like smoking like a pipe and they're smoking that like kind of cherry flavored tobacco. That's a little bit of what you're getting in that A118. The A122 sweetness, much more of a like a rickhouse effect. There's a little bit more of that kind of like sweetness that's there. Very easy to drink. You know, I mean, if I had to pick, you know, of the two, the A118 would be the winner for me, clearly, just because of the profile of it, you know, overall. But again, that's not putting down the A122 at all, because it on its own, when you're not comparing it to just necessarily other hitters, it's an absolutely incredible bourbon. So it'll be interesting to see what the comparison between the B520 and the B522. Again, a little bit of a slight, you know, unfairness from the standpoint of that, you know, the 520s had a considerable amount of time to kind of open up, but I don't know, it's still kind of fun to do. So yeah, Mike, I'll tell you what, that like cherry blend pipe tobacco, my grandfather used to smoke one, and I mean, when I first kind of nosed it and tasted it, it was what kind of brought me like right back to that moment as a kid, and smelling that. I knew I didn't like it. I didn't like the smoking part of it, but I loved the smell of it. So let's see, what do we got here? The old hawk strap. That's a good one. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, that might have to end up being some kind of sticker, even though I don't know if anybody wants to look at a hawk strap. That might be kind of bad, right? But still kind of fun. Stickers are a fun thing, that's for sure. All right, Mike, what did you say here before? I checked. I do have an A122 in my collection. I decided to revisit my Waterloo Spirits. Okay. All right, 133.6. Big guy. So I thought I had a super chat in here before. I missed it almost. First time here. Well, welcome, Kim S. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love the Mash and Journey picks. Sipping on an A122. Awesome. Tried a B522 in the bar. Love the sweetness. Okay, so that's interesting. So for me, the B522, I got a little less sweetness. The nose for me was sweeter than the palate. But again, that's just me. I wasn't, again, overly crazy about the palate on the 522. The nose I thought was much better. But again, hey, you drink what you like. That's the most important thing. And if it's something that you enjoy, no issue there at all. So extra, I'll tell you, it's bad. What do we got here, Cam? So, hey, Scotty, you forgot to pay your light bill. No, I just didn't put it. I got too lazy, man. I didn't turn it all on tonight. I was doing the Patreon stuff before, and I forgot to turn it on. So yeah, that stuff's all battery operated anyway. So next week, I promise I'll turn this stuff on for you, Cam. How's that? What else we got here? Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it, bud. I obviously got your email and stuff before. So thanks again. Appreciate all of that. Thanks for the heads up on that stuff too. So yeah, so with the A, B, and C's getting floated around, I feel M&J, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Mega Blind Tasting coming on. I bet we could all collectively, and samples from previous years. Yeah, well, that could be, I'm sure between everybody that we all know, we could easily put together a flight of all of that stuff to kind of do a comparison. Now, you'd have to have a little bit of time on your side, because tasting through a lot of those, if you go all the way back to, let's say, even 2017, that's a lot of 17, 18, 19, 21. That's, what do we talk about? 18 or 21 samples. That's a lot of barrel proof whiskey. That's for sure. So thanks, Roy. Appreciate it. Congrats on great picks and the ones coming. No giveaway for me. Well, thanks. Hey, maybe you never know. You never know. What else we got here? Hawkstrap. Don't encourage him, okay? Don't encourage him at all. That's for sure. Oh, must be the. All right, let's going off the rails here pretty quickly. So, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Sending the love, brother. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the support from you guys. Thank you so much. There's my man, Brett Marcourt. So thanks, Brett. Appreciate that. I love the ECBP. Still looking for a B522. C918 is still my favorite. Cheers, Scott. So cheers to you, Brett. Yeah, I mean, so far this A118 is absolutely incredible. And I don't have a C or B 518 to reference, but I can only imagine based on just this one itself. So, all right. So let's do this. Man, it's night and day. So, all right, there we go. Let's do this. So we've got let's do the little heads up of the B5. No, that's not it. Let's move these back here, move stuff around a little bit here, and get a couple new glasses and pour some good stuff here. More good stuff, I should say. So here's B520. So as you guys can see, maybe. There we go, B520. We'll pour that here on my left, your right. See what we get here. And it's just the B522. This is probably one that I'm more interested in, to be honest, just to see the difference of these two. So proof-wise, so the B520, 127.2 and one B522, 121. So what are we off by? 6.2 proof. So somewhat similar. So let's see what we get from these. We'll obviously start with let's go with the newer. We'll always start with the little lower proof, and that's going to be the 522. So let's see what we get. What did I miss here? Let me go back here. And I think Jason was going to do a little comparison of stuff tomorrow night of the Elijah Craig. Yeah, I know he said he was going to switch, but I told him just do the same thing. I think it's always a fun, interesting thing to kind of go through some of these, see what some of those older ones have to offer versus some of the newer ones. You know, I think we get so many whiskeys that we have a tendency to not go back to ones that are just sitting on the shelves. And I was kind of, after doing the review of this, got to thinking like, well, geez, let me go back to some of the old ones and see how they're kind of comparing to some of the new ones. So thanks, Cam, to help buy more batteries. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Need all the help I can get. All right. So we're on B522 now. All right. So you're a B520. Okay, Michael. B520, the GOAT. All right. That's not even going back that far. So that's the GOAT for you. Okay. Well, it's a good benchmark. We'll find out how the 520 compares to the 522 here in 1 second. So, yeah, we appreciate you guys more than you know. I mean, it is. I mean, this is one of the fun things. I mean, just meeting and talking, and it's just a great community. Obviously, we all have, a couple things in common, which really, really helps, but it's what it is we do promotes great conversation, slowing things down a little bit and kind of enjoying the moment. And that's one of the best parts for me. So Ethan, I think you kind of nailed it with that. So, did I miss Brett before? I think I might have. I did. I love the ECBP. Still looking for beef. Oh yeah, I got it. So sorry about that. All right. Yeah, see the B522 for me, I I struggle because I'm having to search so much on this one, and it's more leathers, tobacco. There's less sweetness on the nose. There's a little bit that's there. You still get the vanillas and the caramels, things like that. Um, but again, it's more oak. More of the leather, more of the tobacco. Don't get me wrong, there is some sweetness there. It's just not as sweet as some of the other ones have been before. All right, let's do this here a little bit. See what we get with the 520. Oh, man. It's just like, it's like everything that you kind of want in that perfect bourbon. There's just something about that nose. It's a combination of like perfect and more perfect. And I can see why Michael was saying before, like how for him it's the greatest. The nose is just so well balanced of that sweet oak. If you could describe like the perfect bourbon, so far the nose on this would be all of that. There's the cherry, there's the vanilla custard, that nice kind of like fresh caramel note, nice sweet oak. It's very what you want to say traditional, but it's traditional from the standpoint of if you're trying to describe like the perfect bourbon to someone, like what all of those layers would be, that combine that richness and complexity. It's just hard to put that in words. It's that special. And if I went back to 20 in my top whiskeys, I'm pretty sure that bad boy had to have factored in. I don't even remember, but it sure has. So, yeah, Tim, I can definitely see that. There's just that. I think it's that custard, maybe that vanilla custard that maybe you're referencing that I'm getting in that, but it's just it's incredible. All right, let's give the 522 try here. It's still, again, a great bourbon. The one thing I think I also struggled with on this a little bit was it seemed to kind of hit the palate and then kind of like dissipate. Like there wasn't a super long finish. And I think that's where I was kind of waiting the whole time for it to kind of ramp up or something else to be there. And then it continued to just kind of fall a little bit flat. And again, we are nitpicking these a little bit, but I will say this, and I think I mentioned this in the video as well, but the longer the B522 stays open, I think it does start to build a little bit more the sweetness that I think a lot of us really enjoy with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So that was an improvement. And I know if you do a review of this, I think right off the neck, I don't think it's doing this bourbon any justice whatsoever. And I remember it being ethanol forward. It was hot. It was spicy. There was just nothing that was very rounded out about it. It was just, there was something about it that I just wasn't really digging. And what I will say is it is starting to slowly kind of come around a little bit. So if you do have a 522 that you're maybe not overly crazy about, I will say give it some more time. I think maybe it'll start to kind of, round out and get to maybe something that you can enjoy. I shouldn't say that. I sound like I'm trying to describe like a shitty whiskey to somebody. At the end of the day, it's still a great whiskey. It's just not for me as good as the A122. The A122 is what I prefer for a bourbon if I'm really looking to sip on one. So, all right, so let's go with the B520. Let's see what this guy is going to be like. The nose on this was absolutely incredible. All right. So here's one thing I'll say about it. It's very mouth coating. It's thick. It's fairly heavy. Really nice kind of cherry chocolate notes on that. Maybe even a little bit of a fudge on that. The one thing I'll say though, I'm not getting as much of a finish as I remember with this one. It's not as long. Again, it kind of came and went a little faster than I was expecting. I mean, so far for me, of the entire bunch, the favorite would have to be the A118 because of what it had to offer. But I'll go back through. I'm going to try the 522 and the 520 again, just to kind of see what we're at. But let me see if there's any other questions in here. So Nicholas, so let me see you got. So you got a little bit of a cheese Danish, cherry cheese Danish. I can maybe see a little bit of like definitely the cherry. I mean, the cherry is there for sure. That's one of the things I still appreciate about some of the slightly older batches was that really nice kind of more Luxardo cherry kind of note. Nothing, artificial or anything like that. It was always a really nice cherry note from the standpoint of like a Luxardo, something that's got some nice richness and depth and everything to it. But I can see maybe where you get a little bit of like a pastry, a little bit of a pastry note on that as well. So B520 is my favorite Elijah Craig barrel proof from the beginning of 2020 until now. Okay. And there's nothing, I mean, they're great. They're great whiskeys. I mean, all of them are great. It's just what some of us prefer more than others. So what's Dave say? Started with the store picks, 1792 Bon, single barrel foolproof. Now pouring A122. Okay, I'll be interested to see what you think of the A122. So, thanks, Eric. Greatly appreciate that. Great community and picks in the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. I know you and I kind of chat quite a bit, so thanks for all that. Yeah, and again, guys, if for some reason some of you are not part of it and you're looking to, get a lot of different great whiskeys, I'll say monthly. I mean, there's probably not many months that go by where we don't have, at least a pick or two picks. I mean, we've had a lot recently, but we're always doing fun things, getting people involved. So again, if someone's interested in it, I don't know if I put a link in here or not. Give me 1 second. Let me just drop it. And I'll see if I can, if anyone's interested in that, you're more than welcome. I'd love to have you. So you can check the link here. So that'll get you in the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, just a Patreon. It's based on tiers and all of that. So thanks, Ethan. Appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, we're always trying. I mean, we're always trying to do as many good things. Everything can't always be the best. We get that. But the one thing I'll say is when we're in that pick, we are getting you guys the best that we possibly can. So between Jason and I and anybody else who's involved, I mean, we are taking our time. We're not just rubber stamping anything and sticking a sticker on it. We want to make sure that it's all great whiskey that you guys are getting. So we can promise you that. So, and Michael, he's pretty much become like an honorary member of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. He's been on so many picks and stuff with us lately. So, and it's good. It's good when you get some really good palettes on picks with you. It really lets you kind of hone in on some things. So thanks, bud. Appreciate that very much. Let me see if I can pin that one. I don't know if it'll let me. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'll pin it so that I can get in there then. Where did I put that? Why is it not going to let me? I don't know why it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's Oh, there we go. Okay, so there you go. All right, sorry about that. So anyway, there you go. So if anybody wants to join, it's been pinned in there, so you guys can have at a little bit there. So again, we love the community. We love everything that we're doing about it. You guys are what kind of keep us doing this and looking for great whiskeys at all times. So greatly appreciate all that. What else we got here? So all right, let me go back here. Man, it just, boy, I'll tell you what. Man, I hate to do this, but yeah, there's just not a huge finish on the 522. Here's the 520 starting to show up a little bit more. Much longer finish, a little more heat, a little more richness on that. I'd say at first I was a little concerned. I wasn't getting as long a finish, and I think now that I kind of focused a little bit more on that, there's definitely much more there. I will still say of all of these, the A118 is still my favorite. I mean, I think for what it offered, again, it's the highest proof, not by a lot, maybe roughly 3 proof on the A118, but man, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, we're nitpicking these. Like I said before, they're all great in their own right. And if you can get these things at or around 70, 80 bucks, man, it's really hard to beat these. I mean, you could do a hell of a flight where if you could kind of go through what we had in 22, 21, 20, 21 was just something about it was just disappointing. I think a lot of those, if I'm not mistaken, were a lot of the lower proof ones. I don't know what it was about that, but yeah, 21 was just kind of seemed to be a little bit of a miss. So thanks, bud. Appreciate that. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Grab another pour of the old C920. I think I'm going to do that. Actually, let me pour a little bit more. I'm kind of low on that one. Must be better to me than I remembered. So it is a really nice pour. I mean, it's for what that is. Man, I'm telling you. Boy, they're kind of similar, to be honest. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, none of these are last. I mean, they're all fantastic bourbons. Yeah, I think the 520, when you really kind of think about that, the richness, the complexity, the layers that it has, boy, much more like fudge or brownie has kind of come out in that for me as well. Nice kind of pastry notes as well on that. I don't remember getting really much or any of that on the 522. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, I would say not even when you kind of compare these two, the 520 ultimately blows it away. Actually, with a little bit of water on my palate, the 522 got like a little bit like oaky and like astringent. There's just something about the B522 that I'm just not overly crazy about. I'll tell you that, guys. I don't know what it is, but man, if I had a little bit of water like still on my palate when I added water to that, and it did not get good then in my opinion. So let me ask you this. Anybody who has the B522 right now, if you don't mind, I'd be interested to see if you added just a little drop or two of water in your glass to let me know what you think water does for you in the B522, if it gives you anything similar to what I described, a little bit more oak and a little more astringency kind of came out in that one. Yeah, it did not, for me, it did not do that any justice whatsoever. So there's my man, Marty. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I thought about sending your bottle, but considering it's like 100+ degrees everywhere, I don't want the cork to blow out in it. So I'm gonna hold off until it's a little little less hot. I mean, it's like 100 degrees here today, and I know going east, I don't think it's getting any better. That's for sure. So, oh, okay, cool, interesting. Yeah, I can maybe see why. I think they probably were telling people you might want to pump the brakes and adding water to that. There's just not, and again, it's still in the overall aspect of things in terms of high proof bourbons. It's still a high proof bourbon. I mean, it's 121 proof that should be able to hold up to water. Now, clearly, it's something that's not. I mean, I was not digging that really at all. So, I'd have to try. All right, Michael, I'll have to try that. The B518 or 518. All right, interesting. All right, good to know. Good to know. So I'd love to see what the A and B batches going back and forth. I don't have a B518, but the A118 is absolutely fantastic. So. I don't have any of the 19s. I wish I did. I think I drank through all those, and when you're drinking through them, you think you're going to be able to get like a backup or two, and it never happened. People were chasing pretty hard in 2019 for a lot of the Elijah Craig barrel proof stuff. So I wasn't able to get, well, I think I had one of each and all of them are gone. Was never able to get any backup stuff, but anyway. All right, so let's see. So Top Dog says 1 drop of water really changed a lot to me in a good or bad way, dog. I'd be interested to know that. So, all right, Ben, what do you got? So, did get a little bit of musty. Yeah, there's just something that was, man, I don't know what that was, but it was not very good on the palate, that's for sure. Let's see what else we got here. Musty like a hawk strap. Benny, you're starting to worry me a little bit, brother. You're starting to worry me a little bit. Hey, Brazer, I appreciate you joining us for lunchtime. Thanks, brother. Thanks, bud. Hopefully you're enjoying that. With your birthday stuff, the other day, I knew you were making a reference to enjoying some of that Peerless. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that, maybe as it opens up a little bit for you. More Braves. Man, the Spice Jam is a good one. So, all right, we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get the Turkster to give us the amount of people in it, and we'll figure out a winner for tonight's spice jam. I mean, where else are you going to get this? Unless you're a Mash and Journey Whiskey Club member, you're not getting that. And plus, I mean, who doesn't want that? I mean, look at that sticker. I mean, come on, look at that. That's epic, for crying out loud. Come on. So get in there. If you guys aren't part of it and you want to try a nice Tawny Port finished Nulu pick, great bourbon. Going to do a little giveaway tonight on the old Mash and I'm so used to saying Mash and Journey, My Bourbon Journey channel. So we'll do a little giveaway tonight. So it is, man. Look at that sticker. That was a pretty incredible. So, so what's Scotty say here? So I have the A and B batches from 2019, but could never get my hands on the C. All right, cool. And you've got them. I'm assuming they're open, so you're probably able to enjoy those. So of those two, A and B, which one are you preferring over the other? There you go, Brazer. Get in there. You're in it to win it, there, bud. Who doesn't want a Tawny Port finished, MGP bourbon? Man, I'll tell you what Nulu is doing with a lot of these things recently, pretty incredible. So, Darrell, you're going to need another one here pretty soon. You're probably on your sixth or seventh pour tonight. You probably can't even read at this point anymore. You've had so much. C19 was stupid good. I finished my bottle earlier this year. Man, I just cannot remember the 19 picks. I have no bottles and I have nothing to really reference it. I mean, the A118 is close. The B520 is the next closest thing I've got. So none of the 19s I have. So yeah, I still have a B517, I think unopened, but I thought I had, you know what? Hang on here. One more thing I'm going to do. I want to compare. Hang on. All right. Hang on 1 second, guys. Let's give the old 96 and a 70 now. I'm gonna judge it. I'm gonna judge it fair. But what I want to see is what is the so this was our if you guys probably saw early on, we were one of the first ones to get in on the Elijah Craig barrel proof picks, and that was our pick. So this was actually it was the youngest of the ones we did. It was only an 8-year Elijah Craig barrel proof, but what it offered of the ones we had, it was the lowest age, and it was by far better than the 9 and 10s that we had. Wasn't even close. So it's been a little while since I've had this. So let's go back and see what the old 96er had to offer. So, oh man. See, it has more of the profile of the older ones. It was just, there's something about that older, little higher proof. This is 127.7 proof. Great finish, great spice. The finish on this is fantastic. It's long, more of those cherry notes, more a little bit leather, tobacco, that Rick Housey kind of effect again on this one. But the proof is really what is allowing this to kind of stand up and add to that kind of richness. Man, that's good. Now I see why we picked that one. Yeah, really nice like cigar tobacco note on that bad boy. Man, it's been a while since I've had that, but fantastic. So all right, what's we got here? Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, brother. You're in it to win it, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to give this thing, what do we have here? We're an hour and 5 minutes. I'll go 5 more minutes on the giveaway tonight. So if you're going to get in it, you've got 5 minutes to do any kind of super chat or whatever it may be to get in on the old Nulu and have that guy staring at you when you put it on your nightstand next to your bed. So I'm pretty sure that's where you're going to probably keep it. So pretty awesome. So, oh, look at this guy coming in hot and heavy. Hock and roll, baby. Hock and roll. If for some reason anybody has not subscribed to Marty and Whiskey Nose and his Patreon and what he's got going on, I mean, you can't support a better dude. So, I mean, Marty's a great guy. We've had him on our Four Roses pick that we did, which will hopefully be coming here before too much longer. But you can't help but support the great people in the community, and Marty is one of those guys. So he does great live streams, great videos, all of that. Good dude, good friend, I'd like to call him. And I mean, there's not much you can say. Great personality. I mean, Marty's just overall a great dude. So thanks, brother. Appreciate it. What do we got here? Yeah, there was just something about early on. I don't know what it was with those picks, but we had a 9 and 10. The other one was 10, I think close or approaching 11 years. And man, I'll tell you what, it was not good. There was nothing remotely close to what that 8-year tasted like. So we were happy because we were about ready to walk away. I know I've told that story, it seems like a million times, but that was the last barrel we had all day. And before that, we were ready to walk away. So thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Got to go forth. Yes, you do. You're in it to win it. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, who's this Marty guy you speak of? I don't know. Just some random dude. That's for sure. What's we got here? So yeah, there we go. So I mean, I thought this was something that was going to be interesting, fun to do, was to kind of do a little bit of a, not quite a blind. I knew what I was kind of doing, and I'd prefer to kind of know a little bit about which ones I was trying. I mean, I've got them. I'm not trying to necessarily sway anybody, considering some of them we're probably never going to see again, and maybe people will get a chance at the A122 and B522. And I guess if we focus on those two alone, I still don't think it's even close. Like the A122 for me was it's a great sipping bourbon. And if there's one that you can, a bourbon that you wanted to try to describe to somebody as, I don't want to say the perfect bourbon, but here, try this. And maybe you're a little, kind of used to a higher proof stuff. I know that's not always the case. Somebody new to bourbon and higher proof, I know it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand. But if you were trying to describe a really fantastic bourbon to somebody, you could give them a little taste of the A122, especially what it is that I'm tasting. I just don't know how. I'm still amazed at the people who don't necessarily like the A122. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's something that doesn't work with your profile or your palate, then so be it. That's fine. But for what it is for me, I think it's an absolutely incredible bourbon. So, all right. So we got 1 minute left. Who else we got in here? All right. So Isaias V, thanks, brother or ma'am. I'm not exactly sure. I apologize either way, but thanks. I don't know if I've seen the in before, but appreciate it very much. Thank you for the super chat, and you're in it. I mean, I'll say as long as anybody's in the continental United States, I can't ship this thing to another country necessarily. It costs me an arm and a leg, but anyway, I appreciate it. So, all right, we got another maybe less than a minute. So if anyone's going to get in there, and we'll do the drawing with the Turkmeister. That's for sure. So I lurk. Okay, cool. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that greatly. Let's see. What do we got here? All right, Coatsy, I don't know exactly what that means. Anyone with a nice rim for PFP gets my strong welcome. All right. All right, we're at the 110 mark. So I'll give you a countdown of 10 seconds. If anyone comes in the next 10 seconds, you can be in it to win it. If not, we're gonna cut it. So you got 10 seconds starting now. All right, good. All right, so car wheel stuff. All right, I see what you mean. I'm not a huge car guy, so I like cars, but I don't pay the analogies of things I guess I wasn't thinking of. So, all right, Turkster, let's do this. So let me know, I guess, how many people are in there, and then I'll kind of draw just a number, a random number that doesn't mean anything to me. And, or actually we'll do this. We'll have, so 31, we got 31 entries right now. So let's see. So Coatsy, you're not in it. So Jason Coates, actually, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this since he doesn't have any skin in the game. Coates, give me a number between 1 and 31, and then that will be tonight's winner. And we'll ask Ethan who fits into that number slot. So, all right, Coatsy, give me a number between 1 and 31, and that will be tonight's winner of the Tawny Port Nulu pick. Let's see what we get. So, all right, Coatsy, come on, 1 to 31. Let's see what we got. Give me that magic number. Hey, there they are, Phil and Julie. Good to see you guys. I know you guys have been covering a lot of ground lately. I know that. That's for sure. Really? What is 2-0? Is that 20 or is that 2-0? 2-0. All right. Let me know if that's actually 20, if that's the number 20. I'm not exactly sure what 2-0 means, but it's definitely not something that's oh, you guys are in Ohio. Okay, cool. All right. If for some reason you get back into the Wisconsin area, definitely let me know, especially if you're around kind of Milwaukee, and I'd love to meet up with you guys or have you over or something. So, all right, come on, Coatsy, give me yes, 20. Okay. All right, thank you very much. So, Turkster, let me know who number 20 is tonight for the win, and I'll then work on getting the old Nulu pick boxed up. Top dog. You were trying hard tonight, that's for sure. So you are in it. So number 20, top dog. All right, buddy, I think you got my email. If not, let me see if I've got it here. I'll throw it up. Here we go. There's the email. Just shoot me an email at mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com with the all the shipping info, or we can correspond through Instagram and all that stuff as well. But anyway, so congrats, bud. Yes and yes, you are the winner tonight. So there you have it. So I guess my recommendation would be, if you guys can go out and buy the A118 right now, absolutely do it. Of course, which is probably not the case. Fantastic bourbon. And again, of the A112 and the B522, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I'd recommend the A122 over the B522 all day long. So there you have it. Let me get rid of this. Don't need that up there anymore. So guys, thanks very much for tonight. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've been able to do a live stream, but really happy to kind of be back at it, doing a couple of these. Work's been crazy. It's still crazy, but I knew I wanted to do something tonight, especially on National Bourbon Day, and do some fun stuff. So I appreciate everybody joining tonight. I think the junkies are obviously probably going right now. I doubt I'm really impacting any of their stuff, but so I'm working on a couple of other things. Again, Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, shameless plug. If anybody is not part of it and you want to join, you can check the pin in the chat right now. That will get you part of the Mash and Dirty Whiskey Club. Great whiskeys. I think, I know I'm a little bit biased, but we have a great time, great community. I think we're doing some fun things. Always got some other fun stuff going on. We've got a Brazier wasn't in here, I don't think, when we were talking about it. Maybe he was, but we got a cigarclub.com kind of exclusive kind of collaboration that we're working on with them. So that will be really fun, depending on what we're going to do with that cigar, and get them involved in a barrel pick with us. So we'll make it a full on collaboration. So that will be really, really fun to do. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight. As always, it's fun to kind of just sit here and chew the fat with you guys on a Tuesday night where there's not much going on. 100 degrees here in Wisconsin right now, so it's a hot one. That's for sure. But I'm not going to complain, because in 6 months or 8 months it'll be minus 25 degrees. So I'm not going to complain at all. So there you have it. Next week, maybe I'm going to start working on getting a little bit more some kind of fun things going on. I've got some things I'm working on a little bit to get some kind of different stuff for Tuesday night live streams. Have a little bit more fun, maybe get some other, I want to get Bill McBrayer on here. So he's doing some kind of fun things with his newish kind of whiskey brand. What do I have coming up review wise? I finally have gotten around to do the Russell's 10. Wanted to do that. This guy I've got coming up too is, this is the Wheel Horse, but this is their toasted barrel finish. So that will be kind of interesting. Again, the McBrayer. Let me bust that one out again for you guys real quick. Cool bottle. He's doing some really kind of cool things. Let's see here. Kind of some of that old school kind of labeling. So like what Bill's got going on there. So that's coming pretty soon. Trying to think of what else I've got coming. I don't know. There's always something going on in this head of mine, that's for sure. So, oh yeah, Lucky 7. Thanks. I appreciate you mentioning that. So that's something we're also working on. Hopefully that's going to be a 14-year. Can't confirm it or not, but that'd be fantastic. What else we got? I don't know, always something going on. So I'll keep you guys on your toes, that's for sure. So next Tuesday we'll have something fun yet to be determined. So stick around, we'll do all that. So guys, thanks again for joining tonight. As always, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. You guys have a good Tuesday night, and we will see you next Tuesday. Cheers, guys.